Whoa, my whole journey? Okay. So I've always been painting. Something that like my mom likes to say, and I don't know if this is real because she likes to kind of expand the truth sometimes, make it really great. But she's like, you were drawing before you were talking, and I don't know if that's true or not. But I've always drawn. I never really had a lot of friends growing up because we always moved to places where there weren't many kids. So I was just like, go home and like, draw and be like, this is like my comic book. And, I loved Sonic the Hedgehog. So I would make like so many comics of Sonic. It's ridiculous. It's always something that I've always done. I have had moments in my life where I didn't know if art was for me because it was so hard. That I'm just like, how can something that I love so much be so difficult? There was a big period when I was in college that I actually quit for a little bit because I was like, I was online and I would see these incredible artists and I'm like, but I'm over here, I don't know what to do. How can I ever reach that level? And I quit. And this is a story that I keep saying over and over because it was really impactful for me. But like my dad was just like, he's a musician. So he called me up and he's just like, Karla, well, congratulations. I'm like, oh yeah, why? He's like, oh, you're not an artist unless you want to quit once. And I always tell that story everywhere. And I know that like it's one of those things that is like so boring to hear. But I really want that to be like a slogan on a t-shirt or like a coffee cups, You're not an artist unless you want to quit at least once. And that gave me a lot of strength because in some ways I started realizing that like some of my favorite artists also felt like me. Also felt like, oh, my work is good, but if I could paint like this person or if I could draw like this person. And that's common. And if you were to talk to any other instructors or any other artist that you really admire, you'll always kind of feel that because we always kind of know that like we can never reach that point in which we imagine ourselves to be, where it's like, oh, I look at it all and I can immediately paint it all. That doesn't happen. That's like a constant journey and it will go on forever. So I think that's where that humility comes from, knowing that like it's so difficult to capture exactly what you see and what you imagine in a drawing or in a painting. So after that, I got back into art. I was just like, okay, cool, I'm doing this for real. And then I went to San Francisco. A small little atelier opened up, the Safe House Atelier, run by Karl Dovsky and at the time the Massive Black Guys. And it was really crazy because it was just like every morning you'd wake up and you'd do cast drawings. And, Karl was a really amazing but tough teacher. He was also really funny and like we would have like metal Fridays. So you'd be drawing this like beautiful cast, very elegant with like, and you're just like, kill me because I like metal, but not when you're trying to focus on like this like statue and trying to get the brushstroke just right and and I was a student there for like about a year and a half, and I went to college before, but it wasn't very good. And in America you have to pay for college, so I'm still paying for that, so it sucks. But that school, the Safe House Atelier, I would contribute to pretty much most of my development. It's unexpected. And I'm very lucky that I had great people along the way, starting with my parents. My dad gave me my sense of humor and my perspective in life. My mother gave me my perseverance and my strength. She's a very tough woman, and he's a very funny man. And then just wonderful humans alongside the way from some of my earlier teachers. One of my high school teachers, Senor Vega Eluciano. He he was just funny because like I went to an art high school, and from very early on, he helped me along the way. Central de Artes Visuales is the school that I went to. I think he still teaches there, so hey. And then through college, certain, you know, Jonathan Hunt, oh my God, Michael Carnegie, there were certain teachers that were just fantastic and were really wonderful. And even though the institution was shitty, because it was, like, the individuals that cared really made a difference. Then Carl Dobsky, and, you know, all the people at Massive Black, Wesley Burt, Jason Chan, Kempra Millard, who are now friends, and it's really weird. You're like, oh, some of my best friends were my teachers, but that's how life goes. To then, like, Ian McKegg, who became a huge influence in my life. I really wouldn't be where I am without him. And that's, like, wild to say, because when I was a kid, you know, I had the Star Wars books, and I opened the book and was like, oh my God, Darth Maul is scary, Queen Amidala is so good, who is this? It's Ian McKegg, and you know, you're like a kid, and you're like looking through the stars, and you're just like, there's his face, like, and like a movie, just like, I wish I could reach the stars. And then you meet them, and they're wonderful humans who don't think they're so great, by the way, but they are. And to be able to meet them, to be able to receive help, it's really inspiring. And it inspires me to help people now, because it's like, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today without them. So if I could help someone get to a place where, like, you know, that same journey that I took, if I could grab someone who's about to give up and be like, no, don't give up just yet, look at what can happen. Man, I remember when I was like, oh my God, all these artists, and you're just like, and then, and you always think you put your foot in your mouth. Like when I first met like Wesley Burt, I remember I was so scared, because he was one of the artists I was looking at when I decided to give up. I'm like, how can I ever reach it? He doesn't, I don't think he knows this. No, I did. I told him I was drunk, and I told him. And he wasn't drunk, so he was like, what? And I was like, no. And I'm like, yeah, you made me quit. No, I'm kidding. But I remember the first time I met him, I was so shy. I was like, and I was mustering all the courage I could to go talk to him. And I'm just like, and instead of like, hello, I really love what you do, thank you for everything, that didn't come out. It came out as like, hi, I like what you do. I overcompensated and went for way too cool. And he was like, and he doesn't talk much to begin with, but he's a wonderful human. But, you know, beginning, he doesn't talk much. And I thought, oh my God, he hates me, I'm such an idiot. And that was like most of my interactions. I either went to the side of like, I'm too cool, hey, how's it going? To the too shy, like, hi. So I understand when people approach me and I see it and I'm like, this is wild, but hi. You don't have to be too cool. You don't have to be too shy. I was there too. So, yeah.